I am sick of hearing these bullshit Superman stories about the Wassa legendary
Cam Reddish
catching bullets with his teeth. Catches bullets with his teeth? Nigga, please.
What's good, y'all? This is Diehard State podcast. We got Diehard State of Mind. We got State here. What's good, State? Let's get it popping here. We got a special guest, man. You want to introduce him?
Danny. one day drop, man. Bring him
That's
in.
what we can say, right? Just drop him in here right away. What's good, Danny?
What up, y'all? What up, man?
Yeah, I gotta say, you guys are crazy, man, because we didn't even start the podcast. State already got his podcast voice on. Danny's already in full rant mode. We didn't even push play on this thing yet, man. So we ready to get this stuff started, man. How's it going, Danny?
Good, man. Good, bro. Chilling, man. You know, feeling good after last night, obviously. You know, not just a win, but you know, a win led by the youth movement. You know what I'm saying? The PTK fam, right?
PTSD fan, whatever, all that stuff, man.
Oh, man, I got it, bro. I got it. No, man, but I'm feeling good, bro. I'm feeling good, you know. We got a game against the Kings tonight that, in my book, should be a winnable game, you know what I mean? But with the way things go, who knows? Do we want to win? You know, it's like there's a lot of things pulling at me here. So, you know, I was good until now I start thinking about it, and, you know, I don't know if I'm so good. Like, do we want to win here?
I forgot there was a game tonight. You know, I was so busy trying to prepare for this podcast that I forgot. Oh snap! 10:30 tonight.
So,
it's
actually like that, man.
I don't know, man. Is it even worth staying up? Because I do a halftime show, so I'm not gonna be able to get on until 11:30. So is it even worth it?
You know, you can't ask that question when your name is Die Hard, right?
I'm gonna be on talking to 5 people at friggin' midnight tonight by myself.
Nah, man, you gotta watch it so you know every little, like, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't miss anything. Like, if I'm like looking at my phone, I scroll up, I rewind to catch every play. Like, I can't, and it's hard, man. It makes the job difficult. You know what I'm saying? But I love it, bro. Wouldn't have it any other way. You know?
It's the lifestyle, man. You see, State is in a hospital, for Christ's sake. He's at work and he can't get enough of this shit. So I know State got something on his mind, man. I can see the steam over there. What you want to talk about first, Mr. State?
It's a must win tonight. Knicks got to win tonight. They got to win tonight. Can't lose tonight. They can't lose tonight. I'm sick of losing. I think that's what it is. Like, we haven't won a game in like 3 weeks. And then we finally win a game. You see the countless arguments on Twitter. Everybody going at each other. And now it's getting to a point where, like, we're getting criticized because people saying that we talk about you know, Knicks players' families. We know what came up today, but it's like, you know, we just want to win some games. Like, I'm tired of going at my Knicks players. And it's because of Tom Thibodeau. This 64-year-old coach is stupid. I'm sick of arguing with people about why the Knicks rotations is this and why the Knicks offense look like that. When I watched the kids yesterday, I didn't have no problems watching the Knicks offense. When I watched Quickly with Deuce McBride, which I've been praying to God that you play Quickly with another point guard, he looked way better yesterday. And why is that? Because he's playing with another combo guard, an actual point guard, actually, because I think Deuce McBride is a point guard. And Quickly looked way better yesterday. He had a double.
So much more spacing.
Yes, much more spacing, but you know, I love what I seen yesterday from the kids. I'm tired of bashing Randall, man. I'm so over it. Like, I don't even want to talk about that man right now. All I'm gonna say is, like, I just hope he get his head out of his own ass. And
But it's tough, man, because it's Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau was the one that put him in this position. Last year, he was working. He was in the perfect. You know, we had an offense that was perfectly built around Julius Randle. Now this year, I feel like, you know, from game to game, guys didn't even know what to do. But then, like you just said, we got the youth in there, and all of a sudden they could figure it out. All of a sudden, Quickly is getting busy. Quickly played really good, man. I don't know if it was point guard stuff, but it was just him, like, scoring, whatever. So it just Tom got us all spinning around like we crazy.
Nah, it's true, man. I mean, I'm on the Knicks corner pod last night with my boy Coach Five, man, and we damn near, pretty much at each other's heads, just going back and forth. You know what I'm saying, about Thibs, about Randall, about the effort we're getting, and why is it like this, and you know what I'm saying. Like it's tough, man. But it's funny because we keep arriving at the same thing, right? Winning cures all.
So do we want to win? What's the situation with that? Do we want to win to like make our draft situation go down, or are we trying to make the play in? What do we want?
I'm all about culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is why I'm so torn, right? Because 3 weeks ago I was totally about, nah, man, I'm good with Thibs. Keep him to next season. You know what I'm saying? And just shorten the leash and go from there. But like now I'm at a point where it's like he's so win now, and like yes, it's a good quality to have. You want your coach to be playing every game like a game 7, but he's also just so stubborn in certain areas where he doesn't change, doesn't adjust. And yeah, I'm not a coach and can't tell him what he's seeing at practice, but at the same time, man, like we're seeing what's playing out on the court game after game after game, and it's literally the same thing. Like it doesn't take a genius or even a basketball fan to notice that. Like it's literally the same thing, so it's like something has to give. So I mean, I'll try to make this a little bit short, but it's just I'm torn, right? And so my whole point was I can't root for my team to lose, right? I just can't do it. So obviously I want to see them win, but I want to see them win with the guys that should be given the opportunity to see what we got, you know what I mean, for the rest of the season. Like guys that were riding the bench all season when Thibs was playing his vets. And I hate it that it sounds so cliche, but it is what it is, right? You got to call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Like we had Sims on the bench all season long. You can't tell me that we couldn't have given this guy a shot. Like we've been screaming, play the kids and when we say kids, we're talking about the lineup that we're seeing last night, minus Grimes for the most part, right? But man, I can't. We got to win, man. We got to win. It's bigger than all this. Like it's a winning culture. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, the thing about Sims and like even like Deuce, these guys they were playing pretty good at certain points of the season, and then he just stopped playing Sims altogether. Like why? One thing I want to say too, like he keeps Tom Thibodeau, he keeps referring to paper every time somebody asks him a question. Oh, but the numbers say this. The numbers say that Burks is this. The numbers say
and
this.
They don't.
So, yeah. So I mean, I feel like it's like a one of those new doctors. When you go to, hey doctor, my foot is hurting. Hey, the paper says that you have asthma. Like, what does that got to do with my foot, doctor? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but Tom Thibodeau's 60 something years old. So I feel like we should have gotten like a higher caliber coach. Because like another guy to mention, I'll throw it out there, Mark Jackson. You saw what he said, right? He basically said what you said, Danny.
Absolutely, man.
Nah, Thibs was the correct choice at the right time. Like
exactly. Hindsight is always going to be 20/20. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they saw an opportunity to strike, and somebody like that, like it's optics to a degree also. You know what I mean? Tom Thibodeau, without this season, without being even the Knicks coach, he's a winning coach, right? At the end of the day, and that's what they were looking to do.
I'm gonna put it like this: any other coach that would be in Tom Thibodeau's situation, like right now, losing like 3, like going like out of 20 games, 3 for 17, they would have been fired already. But Thibodeau's coaching resume and his stature allows him to keep his job. So, and then imagine how the media will react to somebody else besides Thibodeau. Right? Imagine if we had Kenny Atkinson.
That's what I think about, man. Guys like that.
Wow.
Well, that's the guy I wanted, Kenny Atkinson.
So like that's like when I go back to Dow, when I talk about Kane, like that's a moment in the timeline where like we had to get Thibs at that time. And I respect it. But it comes to a point where like you've reached your moment. You've reached your limit with this guy. Like you've reached your ceiling.
It's so
if
tough,
Thibs
man.
play the kids, that means he's trying to win. I don't need to see vets if you're trying to win. That means you're trying to tank. You're disrespecting my intelligence. We went 3 of 17 out of 20 games. The vets are not helping you win games. So give those kids some run. Maybe we could go on a win streak. Maybe we win tonight. Maybe we win the next game. Maybe we win the game after that. Then Grimes come back. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I need Thibs to understand that, you got to play the future. There's no reason why I'm listening to Mark Jackson and the other commentator last night. I don't know what his name is, but it was beautiful last night, like watching ESPN. Like they was spot on with everything. I don't know if Mark Jackson got a burner account or something. I don't know if he's on Knicks Twitter, but everything he said was spot on. And he was talking like, yo, the dude asked him. So this is what made me like, oh, nah. So the dude asked him, so Mark Jackson, out of these young players, who would you keep on this Knicks roster? So mind you, on the floor is, I think it was Quickly, RJ, I think it was Quickly, Deuce, RJ, Radish, Sims. So, Mark Jackson goes, I'm keeping all the kids. I'm playing them heavy minutes, and I want to see them. I want to see what the future is like. That stuff like that makes me feel good. And then I'm seeing my team up by 20, and I'm seeing the kids play so well. I want to see that more. That's what we ask from Thibs. Stop being an asshead. You don't need to start Burks at point guard, bro. You could start Quickly, bro. You could start Reddish, bro.
Crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
Well, to me, it's not so cut and dry as far as starting certain guys. Whatever. It just comes down to coach to the way the coach wants to coach the team. Because I mean, last year we won with vets. We won with vets because he had guys in certain spots that made sense for the personnel that we had. Now this year, I don't know what happened. It's like he just said, "To hell with it." I don't know what happened because he could easily do the same thing with this roster. It doesn't have to do with vets or thing, but it just so happens that the youth that we have need to play. Just for the simple fact of their production, not necessarily having to do with one guy. It sucks less than the next. It's just that the personnel calls for certain guys to play. And Tom Thibodeau, I don't know what he's looking at. He keeps talking about stats and the numbers say. What numbers is he looking at? I feel like his shit is outdated. Like I don't know what's going on. They're giving him like old data to look at. That's what's frustrating to me to see that all the time.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you that Thibs started that lineup in the fourth quarter?
Completely shocked, bro. To me, I know you was drooling, man. They was playing so damn good during that time, man. I was like, because I'm watching the show. It's to the point now with that halftime, the crunch time show where I'm just joking. It's like basically a stand-up comedy show now on that shit. But then like I'm watching, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what's going on here? The Cam Reddish was going off, man. And it's that is a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to watch those guys.
Not even Cam Reddish. Emmanuel quickly came to play basketball after 2 months. That's all I could wish for.
He's been slowly coming back into his own, like slowly in like the last 2 to 3 weeks now. Very slowly, you know what I mean? And in the last like week, it's really starting to become more consistent. So I want to see him finish out this season playing like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see off games too much more often. I really don't.
Yeah, but it comes down to playing good basketball. Stop. Last game, he did not look off Reddish. He passed to everybody. He passed to the open man. He made plays.
You just got to play ball.
Played good basketball.
Just got to play ball.
That's all I want. Just play good basketball. I know Quickly got talent. He's shooting under 40%. That's on Thibs because his offense is trash. But
it's all on Thibs, man.
When the kids play together, Thibs' offense isn't trash. So what narrative can we run with?
Well, I think Tom Thibodeau's trying to make Quickly into a point guard. He wants him to be a pass first, look for the guys, whatever. That's not Quickly's game. What we saw last night with the way Quickly was playing
all day.
Yeah, he looked fantastic though.
Oh, last night he was not a shoot first guy.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have it going, we can easily put him out and put somebody else in because we have the personnel. We have the personnel to do that.
Gotta play him next to a combo guard. When Deuce McBride scores 0 points but has a high plus minus, but you're watching the game and you can see why he has a high plus minus. Gotta play Quickly with another combo guard. Quickly should not be running the offense by himself fully, right?
Yeah.
That's what we can ask for. He played so well last night, though. He played very well. And every shot that he took, it didn't look rushed. It looked like it was in the flow of the offense. So how about you play Quickly with Deuce McBride more? You think?
100%. And you could even offset that with Grimes at times, right?
Yeah.
Man, like this part of the season right now is where I'm like, man, like I wish we could just start all over right now. You know what I'm saying? Like not all over, but you know what I'm saying? Like it sucks that we got to wait this out, but
I feel like we was in a long like preseason, right? Long training camp.
it feels like a long season. I don't know why. Maybe because we didn't enjoy it as much as we did last year. And it's probably exactly it, man. We were probably not enjoying it like we were last year and nitpicking 10 times more. You know what I'm saying? Because things aren't going up, and that's just how it goes. You know, so it probably just, that's how it is. I think that's exactly what it was, man.
Yeah.
You know, but listen, I think we got exactly 20, or we at 19
How many
games
more
left.
games got left, State?
I think 19 left.
18 games.
Yeah, it's either 19 or 20.
19 or 20.
So what's the game plan? Like, what are we cheering for? Are we cheering for the play-in or is this tank time?
Yo, if the kids could ring off some wins, I'm cheering for some W's, man. I
18 games left.
I love wins that mean something. I love wins that count towards something. Like, I don't like the Nadawa, that's his name. The Nadawa, remember the game when he hit that cost us Karl Anthony Towns? I don't like wins like that. That's meaningless wins. But I like wins like last night. That win count for something. Every kid played well. I ain't gonna say who didn't play well because I'm not gonna do that tonight. But the kids played well, so that's as long as the future's playing well and they can look like assets that can be traded if we're not going to keep them or sign them, then we're good. Because nobody wants Evan Fournier. Nobody wants that. That was evident at the trade deadline. Nobody wants Burks. Nobody wants Nerlens.
I think people will at some point. You know what I'm saying? I think that they were just we were just so unready to give up anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were looking to get rid of Burks, like and guys like that, like Noel and Fournier, like I think people were asking for picks or they were trying to attach something to it. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason we held the line. I don't know why, because it's like at this point, but I guess they weren't on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at this point we see exactly what we need to do. You know, where we need to pivot from in terms of players. Again, I don't want to say any names, but it's man, it's going to be a long 18 games in an off season.
But these teams that you see on the screen there, these are all the guys that are in front of us there. So what the hell do we do? How do we get into this play-in? Because the Nets,
man, it's done now.
So the best case scenario, I couldn't even believe that this happened. But so the best case scenario that I see right now, shout outs to Kristaps Porzingis, is that
6 games back from the play-in.
The Nets continue to lose, the Wizards make the playoffs, the Hornets make the playoffs, the Knicks make the playoffs, and the Nets don't make the playoffs, and somebody about to miss out. So that's the best.
But how did the Knicks make the playoffs, though?
Damn kids help us win them damn games, brother, like tonight.
We got to win a lot of games, though, man.
I expect to win tonight. I don't know about you.
Listen, we have to straight up go on a 6 or 7 game winning streak. Straight up.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
That's Sacramento. And Randall can't wake up to Sacramento, then I don't know, bro. Hey,
I know, but Sacramento's only going to give us 1 win. It's not going to give us 6 wins. We need to put together 6 wins, and that schedule don't look too,
we haven't had more than 3 all season, right? I don't even think we hit 3 in a row, did we?
Well, I don't think we played Cam Reddish and all these kids 3 games in a row. So let's see.
That's very true. That's very true. Now, listen, like I said earlier, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you that Thibs went with that lineup in the 4th quarter? You guys both were obviously as shocked as I was. Now, how shocked would you be if you saw that lineup get heavy minutes tonight and then take it further for the rest of the season?
It'll be on and popping, man.
I think we could go on a win streak if we just if he plays the same exact lineups he played. Again, we're gonna go on a win streak. I'm telling y'all right now. I don't need to see Evan Fournier in the 4th. Play RJ and Reddish. If you want to play silly ass Randall, play Randall. But play them guys together. I don't need to see.
I feel like Grimes is gonna come back and Deuce is out. You know what I'm saying? With the fact that that's how Thibs does. You know what I'm saying? He keeps to that tight 10-guy rotation. So it's like if Deuce is getting minutes now,
Can
and
I give you a
Grimes
hot
comes
take?
back, can Thibs even squeeze him in without touching it?
Can I give you a hot take, Danny?
Do it.
I think when Grimes come back, Burks is going to be out the rotation.
Yo, that's a hot take I'm here for, man. Listen, Burks is a guy that a playoff team or a playoff team on the edge should be looking to get to boost their bench.
That's
You know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying? Like 100%. So he has some value. You know, I'm surprised we weren't able to move him at the trade deadline. But again, like I said, I think we were unwilling to give up anything, with it. So, but listen, man, I'm here for it, bro, because I think at this point people know what Burks is, what he can be, and I don't think he has to prove anything. And I think we have higher priorities at this point, right?
Yeah, but this guy Tom Thibodeau wants Burks to be the point guard, man. That shit, that to me, that because we have point guards on the roster, and eventually Derrick Rose is going to come back too, so that's going to throw a wrench in things too. So I mean,
Right,
who's he
exactly.
going to start? Because
And
that's going to push other guys further down. That's the dilemma we have.
But here's my thing. This is why I want the Knicks to go on a win streak now. If you go on a win streak playing the kids, you can't take the kids out of the rotation.
That's
Accountability.
what logic says.
Accountability. And this,
you're talking about the same guy though that benched Kemba and then brought him back, and now he's out again. Like,
let's be
He
honest.
brought him back and refused to play him.
Let's be
He
honest.
refused to bench him again. My bad.
If the Knicks go on a win streak and Alec Burks still starting that point guard, but you're saying all 5 of the kids come off the bench, who gonna complain?
Tom Thibodeau don't want to play more than 8 guys.
Nah, he gonna play them damn kids. I think
We're gonna have to go up to the garden and fuck his ass up
He
or
gonna-
something, man. Give him a wedgie or something.
right, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh, gee. Yo, give me 5 minutes. Let me go help. Let me go see if my coworker okay.
I know that. I think we can handle it.
All right.
No, we got your state. Well, yo, Danny, take a look at the at what's on the screen here. Look at the schedule. I was looking at it. I was saying that I don't think the Knicks gonna be able to put together a winning streak. But if you're gonna do it, look at the schedule. I think we
This
might
is
be able
the
to do
time
it.
right now.
Yeah, Kings tonight.
100%.
The Mavs.
State was on to something. I think you're on to something too, man. The time is now. You got to strike now. But that's the problem is I don't think the way that we want to see the team win and Thibs views the way to win is it lines up. You know what I'm saying? So I would love if it did. You know what I'm saying? But he's stubborn, man. Like you said at the other night at the press conference, Alec Burks is, that's the best we got. Really? Like we know. We just saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was praying that when he went to that lineup in the 4th, after the shock, was lifted, I was praying that they would freaking shove it down his throat. You know what I'm saying? And they did, thankfully. Because if that went down the tubes, then he's got all the more ground to stand on. And that's what happened all season. Is I feel like every time that we started calling out like, all right, this isn't working, we got to switch something up. He would feed us something, right? And we'd be like, all right, no problem. We'll give him a little bit more time. 2 more weeks passes, same thing's happening. Coach, it's not, it's not working. You're doing the same thing. Just give it a little bit more time. He always had something, right? Like, Kemba's back now. Like just a couple of months ago, Kemba's back now. He's starting to be a little bit more consistent. I want to see, what these 5 guys could do now that they're all playing together. It was always something else, and something else, and something else. He never really gave the guys that we saw last night a fair shot to play the amount of time that they got, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, man. Because that's the only thing that we got to feed off of what he says in the postgame. So that gives us the energy of like, okay, well, let's give him a little bit, like you just said, let's give him a little leeway. Okay, I feel like he's gonna do this, but then like when he finally does what he's gonna do, is like he like contradicts himself. That's why State always calls him a liar. He's an old liar and all kinds of State.
Yeah.
State goes crazy on him sometimes, But I mean, even whatever's happening with the Knicks at the roster, we can pull into anybody's arena and beat them at any time. We could beat any team at any time. So, like we're saying, the Mavericks look like a game that we could win. Grizzlies, we probably can compete with them the way that we're playing now. The Nets are primed to get
That's
a
going
win.
to be a battle, though.
Yeah, it will be.
Grizzlies will be a battle.
Yeah. Yo, but Deuce, I would love to see Deuce playing against my man John Morant. Defensively.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. That's what kills me, man. There were so many games where it's like we needed that that intensity, right? Like I was talking about it a couple of weeks back, probably maybe like 2 months or so ago, just in terms of like what are we missing from last year, and not so much like the player itself, but like the intensity that Bullock brought, right? Like
Right.
Bullock and Burks, we had both of those guys, like, you know what I'm saying, and Rose, like that intensity that each of these guys brought quickly, you know what I'm saying, fed right off of that and then started doing the same exact thing. You know, it's like that intensity right there is so needed. And you have guys like Grimes who finally is starting to get consistent minutes only in the last month and a half now, 2 months maybe, right? And you got guys like Deuce sitting back there, man. Both Thibs guys, in my opinion, both guys that bring the intensity every time they touch the court. And it's like, I just feel like it's such a big piece. And if we could have utilized them a little bit more, you know, earlier in the season, maybe things would have turned out a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Derrick Rose went out of his way to praise Deuce McBride in the preseason. You know, so the players can see it, the players talk and stuff. But I just don't know what's the disconnect between Tom Thibodeau, because even his coaches they said that he don't even talk to his coaching staff during the game, which is bugged out to me. You know, like
Yeah,
recently, once it came out, now you started to see the coaching staff standing up. At least before, they weren't even standing up. It was kind of odd. They were all sitting behind the bench or at the end of the bench. You know, that was really, really weird stuff. But just to tap on what you were saying, like the intensity thing, I
right,
think the Knicks messed up by not doubling down on that. We should have doubled down on what we did last year, and then maybe it would have gave us a little. It would have just been a little bit better than what's going on now. Like doubling down. What I mean is like getting that defensive point guard a little bit better than instead of getting Kemba, get that dog defensive player that we had that can score. Instead of Alfred Payton. Instead of Reggie Bullock, get that dog guy that can be a two-way 3-and-D kind of guy. But they do a little bit more than Bullock was doing, and maybe
right,
get like an extra center to add more power, more bruising on the inside. Maybe that would have helped a little bit, but we did the opposite.
right. I think Kemba was kind of like almost a fallback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they didn't really throw a true hat in the ring for guys like Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Lowry, and we knew Lowry was already going to go down there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's tough, man. When you draft guys like as well as we did, guys like Deuce, guys like Grimes, right? And then you have a coach who's just so heavy on guys that he trusts in terms of experience in the league. It's tough to see him give a young guy a shot like that and really lean on them early on, and it's like maybe if we did, things that would have fared out a little bit differently. And it's so hard to not keep going to back there.
Yeah, I think we got shell shocked with the Derrick Rose thing. I think that messed up Tom Thibodeau totally up, because I'm thinking in his head
Sure.
that he always can go back to his boy Derrick Rose. If Kemba's not playing good, I got Derrick Rose that could save me every night. But Derrick Rose
Yeah.
got hurt, so I think that
Right.
threw
So
a
you
wrench into
lost
the whole
both of your
thing.
crutches.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It definitely is tough. And then once again, we're sitting here looking elsewhere, at the PG position when again we got a guy like Deuce, just or even IQ at the same, like, as what State said earlier, throw them both in, you know what I'm saying? And man, it's tough. It's optics also. There's so many teams out there that do play their young guys, so it's tough looking at Thibs. Like, give us more.
Yeah, you need to touch everybody. Everybody needs to. Cause even like a team like say like a team led by Popovich. I've been talking about this a while. Like Popovich and Spoelstra. Whenever they need somebody and they put somebody in the game, they're always ready to play. They never have to like wait like a week to get their feet wet or just to get experience. No, when they come in, those guys are in shape and they know what the A team is running.
Right.
Everybody's on the same page. The Knicks are just not like that. So I think that's a huge problem there with the way that we handle things.
It definitely is, man. Like I said, I think if we could continue to play and just break a little bit from the norm of what we're seeing from coach, right? Like, give us, break from that 10 guy rotation, go to 11, 12 guys. Like, we have them, just rotate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, throw them in and out. Like, you have nothing left to lose, and you have everything to gain.
Yeah. What do you think about that kid Ryan? Can you pronounce his last name? Ryan Archie,
Yeah,
whatever his name.
it's funny. It was just too late. I was trying to take notes last night, like breaking his name up, like to learn how to say it. And I think I just did it just so late. It was like 2:30 in the morning. I was like, I forget it. But I'm almost positive, because it's coming back to me now. I almost positive it's Archie Diacono.
Archie Dinakino. Wow, man.
Diacono.
What kind of fucked up
Diacono.
name is that? Where is he from? Is he like what is that, Greek or something?
Uh, I don't know what it is. Let's see.
You might have to Google it, man. Some kind of freaky Greek name.
I'm
I
letting
got
you
some Greek
down.
jokes,
I
man,
have
but I'm not gonna say them while you're here.
no, he's Italian. He's Italian.
Okay, he's Italian. All right. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing with the point guard stuff, man. We're running two shooting guards. We're running we got Fournier out there, we got Burks out there, and we got RG. Basically three shooting guards, right? So he's saying that we don't have any other point guard options. My thing is with Grimes out, Burks need to go back to the bench to do what he was doing before. Start RG at the two. Now you got Deuce this available. He's a point guard. You got Quickly and you got Archie. You know what I'm saying? So we got a 3-man rotation at point guard that
Archie.
we can play games with, right?
Like that.
Yeah, I just call him Archie because I can't I just cannot pronounce that name for nothing.
No,
But
that's cool, man. I like shortening it up.
What do you think? What do you think about what I'm saying though? Like about the forcing shooting guards to play out of position when we have guys that play that position. You know.
I listen. I said it last night on the pod that I was on with Coach Fa, man. Like when you see little things, like I get where you're coming from, but like even further, right? Like to add to it, when you see like when when Deuce first played, not last night against Phoenix, and when he actually came in the game, right? He went straight to the corner, and that's just where he was at. Like there was no movement. He wasn't really involved too much. Last night was a little bit different. It was like they pretty much the way that they played, it looked like they had free reign, right? That doesn't happen all the time. If they can feel like that, I feel like they'll start playing a little bit more exactly like what you're describing. It's just I feel like sometimes it's the way that Thibs is harping on running the system, right? That has guys playing out of spots, guys like Burks, right? Who's not a point guard, man. Like we all know this now. He's so much better off ball, but yet he's constantly bringing the ball up, So it's tough. We're also forgetting about another guy. You know what I'm saying? In Rokas Jokubaitis, right? Who's overseas still right now. There's people saying all over the place right now that if he was in the draft this year, he'd be a top 10 pick. So what are we going to do with him? And you know how Thibs is. Practice. We'll see what happens in practice. So who knows, man? So you got a guy like him. You got Archie, right? You got Deuce. And then we got Rose, because Rose probably ain't leaving next year.
So what do we do, man? I mean, I feel like we're so close. Like we're so close to getting to where we need to go, but we have so much things going on with us that we like shooting ourselves in the foot. Yeah.
There's a lot in play, man. You know what I mean? Because we didn't even touch on the center position yet, which I know you kind of want to hold off on until we get State back in the room.
Yeah, because State's gonna go crazy. I kind of want to argue with him a little bit about that.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right, man. There's so much going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And it last season, going into this season, we felt like we were so much closer. And it's like you could go at so many angles. Did we get too much offensive weaponry? And in that starting lineup, just adding a guy like Fournier alone, forget Kemba, just a guy like Fournier. Like maybe Randall worked last season because the ball was just constantly going to him, but then do we see RJ come into his own like he is right now? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many narratives and so many, streams to look at, like which ones do you focus on and pick out, like kind of being the main outliers?
As far as the team, my thing, I love team building. I love to get the players, and I like to see guys play. I like to say, okay, well, this we can use them this way, we can use them that way. So like if I watch like a pickup game, I could watch like I don't want to say like the R word or whatever, but I could watch handicapped people play basketball, man, and I'm sitting on he's a shooter, he's a dribbler, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying, the mechanics of it.
Yeah, I freaking love basketball so much, and then adding the Knicks to it just makes a whole different thing. But like, let's watching the team, I can see what RJ's doing, so I love what he's doing. But this is what we've been begging for him to do since he got drafted. So he's doing it now. So it's pushing Randall into a different role. But we need that third guy. So when I saw this guy Cam Reddish doing what he did yesterday, that freaking made me, because I mean that I could see the vision.
So much potential.
Yeah, just like the vision of watching guys play basketball, man, and. I'm getting that vibe now. So, I don't know, man. We just, it's just so much going on. Well, answer the same question you just asked. What do you think about all that stuff, the whole dynamic?
Man, the biggest things to me are figuring out if we're gonna really stick with Randall, right? Like, are you here for the long run? You know, are you willing to play team ball? You know, like it's not always, not every team is, because it's just exactly what we just mentioned, right? Like last year, that first unit ran through Randall, right? And the double teams came and he knew to dish it right off the bat. So now this year, for some reason, he ain't doing that, right? And things are collapsing. And you hear guys like Fournier in the, you know, the post game pressers saying, oh, you know, like sometimes we feel like we don't know where to go. Do we go to RJ? Do we go back to Randall? Do I take the shot? Like, you know, so I think there's a lot of that in play, you know? So what are we doing? What are you doing? Like, can we figure out how to play team ball and figure out with the starting lineup or whatever that's going to be to move forward, how they can work in unison and really play sound ball together? You know what I'm saying? And like that's a big piece to me. You know what I'm saying? Because he sets the tone for everything else. You know, if you're going to be claimed to be that leader, man, you got guys like Jay Boogie saying, you know, and Chuck D saying, you know, Randall should be the captain. Sorry, not Jay Boogie. Chuck D saying Randall should be the captain. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be that, you got to be that, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to rise above all the BS and you got to bear the weight of this, you know, of the city on your shoulders. You know, and it takes a special somebody to do that. And you can't let nothing distract you, man. You got to be all in, you know, and that doesn't mean that you're the superhero, but it means that it all trickles down from you, you know? So to me, that's the biggest piece. Like, because if there's going to be that struggle between having a guy like RJ who's taking that next step and, you know, and Randall and they're not working together and using the rest of the assets around them, right? A great player is somebody who makes the guys around him great also, right? So if that's not going to happen, then we got to figure out what we're doing. So to me, like that's one of the biggest things.
Well, you know, we don't really want to harp on it too much, but you know, just the, you know, the whole Brenda thing, you know, her name is Kendra Randall. You know, I said,
Man.
you know, I'm thinking Tupac. Brenda had a baby and shit. Like, I don't know what's going on.
That's what I think when I hear Randall, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo, speaking of which, man, this is what State calls him. He calls him a freaking big Gerber baby right here. This is what he is.
That's mad funny.
You know, he's like a big baby and shit.
Hell yeah, man. That's too funny. I love the sound effects.
Yeah, but you know, like just him arguing with the coach. The coach is showing him something on the computer. He gets mad. He you know, chest bumps him, smacks the. What are you doing, fam? Like, what are you doing? That's like he threw like a childish fit just now. It's like, what's the point of that?
Right.
You know, it's adding anxiety to the team. You know, it's just trickling down to everybody. So now everybody's like on eggshells because I'm quite sure. Listen, if somebody's popping off like that, I'm getting angry. You know what I'm saying? And I can't fight the guy in front of everybody, in front of thousands of people. That's gonna just make my career look messed up too. So I'm quite sure in the locker room, guys are saying something to him. I don't know how they can let that go. The locker room must be a zoo. You know, especially after we lose and stuff like that. You know, because you know, anybody popping off like that, you know, somebody got to say something to him. You know, I just don't know how it is. And if he's just free reign and nobody's saying nothing to him, I don't know how the Knicks can go on with him like that.
He seems to me, and listen, I'm not trying to say like this is how it is. This is just what I'm seeing. But I feel like he's the kind of guy that obviously you see him get heated, and then he doesn't come and talk at the post game, right? So maybe he's got to blow off the steam because he keeps saying something the following day, and it's more like, you know, retractful, where he's kind of walking back a little bit and kind of, you know, accepting it a little bit. But it's like it keeps happening. You know what I mean? Like, sorry is only gonna work so much. You gotta, you know, actions speak louder than words. You gotta show it, you know. And you're right, man. It does create a vibe. You know, it's a weird vibe, and it's like, you know, when you're watching a game, right? Like when your kids are playing or you're watching kids play at the park, and you see somebody just acting emotionally, right? And it's like it kills the vibe. Like it just you see it right off the bat. Like that guy's got no fun to play with. You know what I'm saying? Like that game can't be fun because this guy won't allow it to be fun. He's got to always take it to the next level. And I'm not saying he plays like that every game, all game long, but there's times where he starts showing it like that, and it's like you got to take it. You know what I'm saying? And the last one with Cam Johnson, I just feel like when you're as big as Randall is, and people have been telling them all season long, you heard Shaq say it, you hear Chuck say it, you know, in the pregame shows, like, you're big, man. Like, people have to play big against you, so you're gonna get body. You got to take it. You got to take it, man, for the same exact reason we've been saying to RJ. When you're getting, a slicing drive in the lane, like, you got to go up and take the contact. Stop shying away from it. It's the same thing with Randall in a different way. Like, you got to take it, man, and, like, you got to eat it. You got to be the bigger guy. Like, and that's just what it comes down to. And unfortunately, like I said, man, it trickles all down, and it's nothing good. Nothing good comes from it.
Yeah, and also too the shut the fuck up culture. He started that. I know we were saying fuck Trae Young in the beginning. It was more fun, but when he started saying shut the fuck up, now I'm seeing shut the fuck up all over Twitter like crazy. Everybody's telling each other shut the fuck up on there. It just comes down to like being a sore loser. Randall's a sore loser. So it looks ugly. Like you said, a guy in the park, if he's carrying on and whatever. Have you seen Bel Air on Peacock yet?
Yeah. I'm only 2 episodes in, so don't go crazy.
Well, I'm not gonna go crazy. Well, the pilot episode, the first episode, how he got to LA. Remember when they was playing basketball?
Yep.
And then the dude come, he shows up to the park, because there's like a rivalry thing. But then it's like, oh, we're gonna put money on it and all this other stuff. So I've seen that play out so many times in real life. That's exactly what's happening with the Knicks, in my opinion. Not to that degree, of course, with the gunplay and stuff, but just the energy. It's the same energy. You can't have that on a professional basketball court.
No.
So like to add to that, say like Shaq. Shaq used to always complain about it. But did you see you seen Shaq play? Shaq would slam guys on the floor. Look what he did to David Robinson. Look what he did to Chris Dudley. So if you're gonna foul him, he's gonna fuck you up on the other end too. So it's definitely gonna go both ways. If the referee's not gonna call it on one side, then he's gonna totally maul you on the other side. So that's what Randall has to do. He has to stop that. But like I said, no matter how ill we sound with our takes, it comes down to Thibs, because Thibs is the one that got him, on the perimeter, going between the legs and all kind of stuff. Put him on the block and let Randall punish whoever's behind him. That's what he'd been doing up until he became a Knick. That's what he was doing. Going downhill on guys.
That was his game. Yep.
Yeah. Punish these cats, man. They want to foul Julius Randle. Send Julius Randle's shoulder right down their jaw. Make them finish the game like this. Hey, good game, Randle. You know what I'm saying? Because his jaw is like swollen from that shoulder that he got earlier. That's what we need to do with that. But it comes down to management and coaching. Like, which direction are we going to go here? What's the line in the sand that we're going to draw, and how are we going to get past that?
Right. So another angle, right? Or at least another piece to the puzzle. I know we were talking about a little bit before we got on the show, but Mitch, right? Like, let me ask you, are you a fan of Mitch?
Well, listen, I have a opinion about Mitch, but he is a good player, so he could be used a certain way. I don't think that we're taking advantage of his full potential and how we could use him. He's shown the ability to be a good pick and roll player. How many pick and rolls have we ran for Mitch Robinson this year? So that's
how many have we ran for Alec Burks?
I'm telling you, it's just mind boggling, man. And right now we got RJ and Randall. How many pick and rolls have they ran with each other? They're our best players, and they don't run pick and roll with each other. So it just drives me crazy. So that's what I'm trying to say. No matter how ill you could sound and whatever you're trying to say, like Tom Thibodeau is not doing it, not doing none of that stuff, and it makes us look crazy. Because if I make a take about Mitchell Robinson, Mitch Robinson, I don't think he boxed out well. I don't think he set picks well. He's not an enforcer, out there as far as like presence. Blocking shots and stuff is one thing. Moving his feet is one thing. But having a presence on the inside where guys actually fear Mitchell Robinson, I don't think they fear him. They know he's good to block shots, but they're not really afraid to go down there on him, in my opinion. So
like going to his body. Yeah.
So those are things that he's going to be able to learn going down the road, but he's just not there yet. And then he's a little goofy. Mitchell Robinson a little too goofy for me to be our franchise center. But like I said, there's a way that we can play him. That we can really use him and be effective.
Yeah, I think he's been a little bit slow to the game in terms of development, right? I mean, he's 4 years in now, and he's obviously a little bit more polished than he was when he first came into the league. Like, obviously, being all Knicks fans, we watched him his rookie year. Like, he was pretty raw. You know what I'm saying? So to see him now compared to there, it's like, okay, like he can develop, So I'm of the stance where I'm looking at it like, listen, give him the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not looking at $20 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Meet somewhere in the middle, somewhere around 15, give or take $1 million or $2 million. Like, if the kid wants to be here, like let's let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? I think he still can continue to get better. I think that he's been working on the boxing out. I think he's not great at it, but he's getting better. I think he's working on it, and hopefully he can learn to get better in terms of taking fouls. Like, he's already made such a jump just in terms of the fouling itself, right? Like, you remember a season ago, 2 seasons ago, he couldn't even stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fouling out nonstop. So I think he's a little bit of a slow learner, but I think that he is a learner and he's willing to put in the work. You know what I mean? Like, he put on that weight in the off season, and yeah, he came with a lot of it on the court and realized, all right, I got to slim it back a little bit, but he still kept it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was all just flabby. Like, it's muscle. Like, you're seeing it displayed night in and night out when he's getting double doubles and working the glass like he does. You know what I mean? That's that muscle. He's fighting for those bounds and he's getting them back up there and in the hoop, So I think it's worth it to put that money towards him and, Sims invest in, and then you find somebody else to maybe throw in the mix just to have somebody to lean on also, and continue to develop Sims and Mitch. But that's fine with me because I'm looking at it as like a position that's the least of our worries, right? There's other positions that are a little bit more priority than just the center. So it's like, just pay the guy the money, look at what we've already been doing. We have the assets. We got it. Just if he's willing to be here, let's get the deal done and move on. And let's focus on the other aspects of this team, like let's say a point guard.
Yeah, point guard is, to me, the point guard is the number one priority no matter anything. I'm tired of talking about it. We've been talking about it for so long.
I know.
Yeah, well, State is back here, so I'm gonna throw State back in.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so
right on time too, man. Talking about the centers.
Yeah, we throwing Mitch into the mix there. So I agree with the investing. $15 million. I still don't think $15 million. I don't want to give him $15 million, but I mean, investing is investing. Like I said, the center position is not something that we need to continue to like talk about. And I know State want to argue with me about it, right? But the center spot is not something that needs to be harped upon. If you're gonna keep Mitch, it's not really something that we need to really put a lot of thought into. Okay, he's probably going to re-sign with us. That's it. But the focus is we need to get that point guard. We don't have a damn point guard.
Right.
There's so many different things that we need to figure out aside from that. The Julius Randle situation that me and Danny was talking about before you came back. But State, we're gonna talk about Mitch now, man. So what do you think about this whole situation with Mitch? You muted yourself, man. Let me get you. I got you. Go ahead. Oh, you did it.
Yeah, you guys double did it.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson played 58 of the Knicks, 64 games this season. Last season, he played 31. And the season before, it was 66 in his rookie year. And also, Mitchell Robinson is 7th in the NBA in blocks. He's 5th in the NBA in total blocks. He's 2nd in the NBA in total offensive rebounds. He had 8 offensive rebounds and a half. He has no point guard. He is shooting above 70% from the field. He was drafted here. I'm used to Mitch. When I look at free agency and I look at all the free agency centers, the only other center that makes sense to me is Mo Bamba. But at the same time, it's like Mo Bamba is not an elite rebounder. Like, Mitch is really elite at rebounding. He really cleans up bricks from the Knicks players, straight construction worker. So it's various reasons why I would pay Mitch. And also, like, we haven't re-signed the player that we drafted since 1994, Charlie Ward. And it's tough. Like, we keep letting guys go through the door. Like, I can understand the whole Frank and Knox thing and letting them, But Mitchell Robinson, I don't understand that because I don't see a good option in free agency. If somebody gave me a good option, then yes, I would agree with it. So Diehard always telling me Yusuf Nurkic. I don't want no goddamn Nurkic. He's not vertical, and that's not good for RJ. 1, 2. I just feel like RJ played with him 3 years. Randall didn't play with him 3 years. Why don't you want that continuing? You paid Nerlens Noel and all those guys off the almighty 4th seed. You can't pay my young boys? That's what we doing here? So you pay the vets off the fake-ass 1 seed from last season, but you can't pay my young boys. You paid Nerlens Noel to literally be in a hospital bed this whole season, but you telling me to let Mitch walk. so we could sign Yusuf Nurkic. Really?
It's not about letting him walk though, because that's the point I'm trying to say. Everything that you said was like it's kind of like unnecessary because we all know that Mitchell Robinson, he's probably going to resign with us, whatever. That it is what it is. But like free agency, there's no use dissing Nurkic's whole career, just because you don't want to lose Mitch. Nurkic is still a good player. So I mean, this is the question that Daily Knicks put out. I wish I would have hit Daily Knicks up because he can come on here and talk about it. But he said if Mitch leaves this summer, so here's the question. Let's say if the Knicks have the exit meeting and they're saying, listen, we want you to focus on rebounding, block shots, whatever. What if Mitch says, no, I got to do like a Mitch impression. No, man, I want to shoot threes and I want to do this. I want to stop doing cardio and stuff like that. Behrman. You know what I'm saying? What if he does that to the Knicks at the exit interviews, and now the Knicks is like, yo, we don't want you to do that. We want you to play a certain way. And then what if Mitch be like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go check the free agency market. And what if he signs like a contract with another team? Like what do you call like a what do you call when you sign a restricted contract? Offer sheet.
Unrestricted,
right?
but we have his bird rights, so we can literally match any contract.
Oh, he's unrestricted.
Yeah, but he's unrestricted, but we have his bird rights, so we could go over the cap and re-sign Mitch. Now,
right.
I'm gonna be honest with both of y'all. Like, if Mitch was the walk, I don't have an answer for y'all. And that's
now,
me being dead straight honest with you. Because
that's exactly why I'm pro sign Mitch and just get the deal done. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking about this the other day, exactly what you just said. Right? We let him walk. What else is out there? You know what I'm saying? And what kind of money are you spending to do it compared to what you could have just paid Mitch?
Right.
But
here's the thing too. Like, it's very important what you guys are saying too, because if we don't handle him immediately, I'm quite sure he's gonna be like, listen, I'm not waiting for no damn bird rights. I want my money today. I'm not gonna wait till August to get paid until you guys figure out what you want to do with the roster. He's gonna want to get his money in the beginning. So that's another thing too. I don't know if Mitch is gonna want to wait for that. Because the Knicks might tell him, so listen, we're gonna pay you, right? But listen, we got other things that we want to do first before we go over the cap to pay you. Because we need the salary cap or whatever we need to do to maneuver to get certain guys here, and then we'll pay you at the end. That's kind of hard for somebody to wait for money to come like that. Okay, I'll trust you. Nobody wants to do that. So
maybe that's what World Wide West does. Maybe like that's his job, like to make Mitch trust the front office. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, listen. I know these guys. They'll do you right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the whole sales pitch. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's what he does. Like what does he do?
I don't know. He's like Tommy from Martin, man. I don't know what he does for a living, man. He ain't got
a
job, man.
But I totally get you. Like I said earlier, man. Like I like this question itself because it does get you start thinking about the other side of the pillow, right? Like it's like you said just before, man. Like I'm tired of talking about like if you're gonna get Mitch, just get it done, right? But there is a possibility that it doesn't get done, and we don't know something, and then we're stuck. Like so, then what if, right? So it is real.
What do you think about that, State? Because I threw a wrench in it. Because I mean, if we don't take care of him immediately, then he could possibly be out. He could possibly be like, listen, I'm going back to New Orleans. I want to go play with with Zion.
I don't got an answer. I honestly don't. I don't see. I don't see no other. I don't see us. Who would be realistically the starting center for the Knicks next season?
He's not starting Sims.
Sims?
No, I'm saying he's not starting Sims.
Nah, he's not.
Another
coach though.
No matter what.
Another coach.
Well, shout out to Daily Knicks because he mentioned Clarkson from the Nets. I don't really know about that, but he was saying Clarkson from the Nets is somebody that we could pull from the Nets because they're not going to want to. The Nets right now, they're just putting pieces together to fit around their major contract that he signed. So his argument is that we can pluck like a guy like Clarkson off it and to make him start in the center for the Knicks. That I don't know too much about. But one guy I want to throw out there is Moses Brown. Moses Brown is actually a free agent right now. He was playing good for I forgot. He was playing good for OKC last year. He basically helped me win the fantasy championship last year. I got my trophy right here. I won the championship because of Moses Brown last year, the way he was playing. So there are like little guys that we could take a chance on. I know State hates it when I say Robin Lopez, but I mean he's a veteran. We can sign him to a veteran minimum contract with the idea that Jericho Sims would be the guy to be that center for us. That we'll be molding him to be the center instead of Mitch. The roles would just change.
Well,
But
knowing this front office and Thibs, man, unless they do sign Mitch, I think you're right. That's the kind of model that they'd look to get, right? Is somebody that they could throw in there and then have just Sims come off the bench for him, or then they'll have some type of third string option, like the way they went out 2 years ago and got like that, Henson and that other cat, Pell, just late in the game just to have a little bit of backup. So. I don't know, man. I like just thinking about all this playing out. Like, I want Mitch to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want what he brings to the game to continue bringing to this team, and hopefully, figure out a couple more bags. A couple more tricks in the bag to throw in there.
Yeah, it's something too. Like, let's say if we was to trade like Randall to the Pelicans, the salary don't match as far as Zion and Randall. We can't do it straight up. So other salaries got to be in the mix. So Valanciunas and Zion, that gets closer with the salary. So if you add like a Julius Randle to that, that could be Valanciunas could be a replacement for Mitch in that way. And then it would make sense.
Tough,
like I
though.
said,
Zion's tough. Zion's tough. They'd have to like really work something out because he's a restricted for another. Yeah. So for him to even actually force his way out, he'd have to sign like a 1-year deal, wait 1 more year after that, and then go wherever he wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unless they figure out some way behind the scene to make this, I don't know, because I'm not a pro at that. But as far as the last time I was looking into it, I don't think it's even really in play, at least for after next season.
Yeah, it's all complicated with the way the salaries and stuff is. What you pondering there, State?
Pondering who the hell gonna be my
real quick before you jump into it, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys having me on, but I'm gonna actually dip with the game starting in about 5 minutes or so. I got to do a couple of things before it gets going. So
forgot about that.
Yeah, and yeah, man, I appreciate being here, man. We definitely got to do this again, link up and chop it up.
Well, before you go, man, we do have a super chat. He wanted to we got to acknowledge that. He said, "What's up, Knicks Nation? Fan here living in Sacramento area. Don't sleep on Fox today. Last 6 games, he's been averaging 31 points, shooting 35% from 3." And he says, "Let's go Knicks." What do you think about that?
That's I love State's laughing behind his hand over there, but probably for the same reason I'm going to, man. Like, we don't sleep on Fox. If you know Knicks Nation, half of Knicks Nation wanted Fox. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we sleeping, man. We know he gets down, and he's definitely been getting busy the last 6 games, like you said, man. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle. Hopefully, like, they can get a little bit of competition going tonight, with Fox and them guys, and guys like RJ and Quick on our end, So that's what I want to see. Yeah, but that's what's up, man. Shout out to Danny Thomas, great name, bro.
Danny Thomas.
Shout out to all the Danny in the world.
Yeah, man.
All right, get up out of here, Danny, man. Thanks for popping up in here. Go handle your business.
Salute, man.
Hey,
all day.
You, appreciate
Definitely, you. Man. Likewise, both of you guys. We'll get up soon. Be good.
No doubt.
Yo, what's up, OG? Yo, man, I want to win this game tonight so bad, bro.
You win it?
Yeah, man, we've been getting our asses kicked, man. Are you ain't tired of losing?
So who win it?
No, we play Sacramento Kings tonight.
And you beat them tonight.
You think we're gonna win?
Yes, you're supposed to.
See, you see what OG said? I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win.
Listen, they have shooters. What it is that they're not? What it is causing them not to shoot? If you are shooters, why you not shooting?
I don't know.
And then you have to blame the coach too if he's subbing wrong.
It's simple mathematics, man.
If you have a man shooting, where the fuck you going to take him off and put on somebody's butt?
So literally, I did not ask him to say nothing. So I didn't say. He said this himself. So if it's a Knicks fan who literally just said, "What the fuck is wrong with his rotations?" and I didn't say a word to them, then that means that it's not a narrative. That is just fact.
It's just fact. It's so simple. It's just simple basketball. Everybody's making things so complicated. Well, he said it in 2 sentences. That's the whole problem with the Knicks right there. The end. Goodbye. Good night, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Good night.
Oh God.
Yeah, man. Have a good night, my brother.
Oh God. The Knicks need to get it the fuck together.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man.
The Knicks need to get it together.
So, we got to talk about, Randall and his behavior. We talked about Kendra a little bit too. We didn't touch too much on it, for the fact that it might incriminate us later on, with our takes and stuff. But what else you got on your mind tonight before the game starts?
Man, they gotta win this game. That's all I'm thinking about, man. Just go get a win, man.
How do you think we do that? How do you think we match up against Sacramento?
Playing them goddamn kids. That's all, yo. Get diehard. You know the formula, man. Play the kids, we're gonna win some games. You seen it last night. You seen the ball movement. You seen Quickly spreading the rock around. Quickly has a double-double. You see RJ, he's aggressive. RJ looks like the game has slowed down for him completely. That's beautiful to see. Another thing, low-key, that I didn't know that I seen. So Reddish can really play small ball 4 and spot up minutes. Obi Toppin is out with an injury. That's on Thibs. I need Thibs fired. But let's see, man. I want to see that. I want to see the 5, the young boy lineup again, and I want to see if they can run Sacramento out of the gym, man. Because it was nice watching the kids yesterday, man. Like they love OG, man.
Yeah, I was about to say that too, because I've heard his voice plenty of times. When we doing the podcast, he come in and say what's up to you or whatever. It'll be cool. You make him sit down right next to you for a little while, But that might cause a problem because next thing you know, you're gonna have a whole crowd behind you. And then you're gonna really be like in trouble over there. Like, who's doing all the work? Everybody's on freaking YouTube right now.
Nah, I'm a good teammate. I just went, helped my coworker real quick, came back. Being a good teammate. On something that Julius Randle need to learn how to do during the games, where we don't have to have certain people delete tweets today. I had to delete a tweet like that. This is why I have even more respect for Carmelo Anthony. After what I've been subjected to after he got traded, I have way more respect for him. Yeah, the man best point guard was 38 years old. That's old.
Raymond Felton had high blood sugar. He was like
Raymond Felton.
Raymond Felton was good, man. He was decent for us. He was decent point guard for us. Somebody gotta respect Ray Felton, man. Everybody just skips over him like he wasn't there. When it was just him and Amari, he was averaging 17 and 17, I think almost 9 at one point. But then we traded him. That's when we traded him for Melo. So and then we brought him back later on and stuff. So, you got to put some respect on Raymond Felton. We had a good run with him when he was here.
Raymond Felton.
Yeah, what the hell? Like you want to go? How far back you want to go? Everybody keeps saying Mark Jackson. We haven't had a point guard since Mark Jackson. But listen, during the time when we actually were winning during Melo's era that people keep talking about, Raymond Felton was the point guard during the Melo era. So you gotta give him respect. And they was making Raymond Felton play shooting guard because we had nobody else with him. The guys kept getting hurt or whatever. We just having problems and stuff. So we would have Pablo, and all whoever else we had. But Raymond Felton was there. You got to give him some kind of respect. You can't forget all about him.
Win the damn game. I'm just looking at stats.
Listen, man, people want to keep going on with that. I don't want to go on a rant about it, but people on the internet, you guys are crazy. Everybody has to take and stuff. But listen, this guy was a bum. This guy was a clown. This guy is this and the other. Come on, man. You got to put respect on these guys' careers. He had a decent NBA career. Was he an all-star? Was he Chris Paul? No, he was not. But why do we have to mention Chris Paul and those guys just to make a point that Raymond Felton wasn't that good? He wasn't that good, but he wasn't complete trash where you could just skip over a whole generation and just forget that he was there. Because my thing is, if you're gonna mention a Melo, then you got to acknowledge that Felton was there too. You got to, because people you got to just acknowledge everybody else that was there. There was other people there besides Melo when we were winning.
So this why I love you, Ewan. You always bring me back to earth. You want me to be fair. You're very correct in that, right? No, you gotta give all those guys credits. Even Mike Woodson, the best Knicks coach in the last decade, gotta give those guys credit, man. Gotta give those guys credit. But you gotta give Carmelo Anthony credit, man. He held it down. Lala Anthony, shout outs to Lala. She held it down. Yeah, she never said a peep to Knicks fans, no nothing. You didn't get the problems that we're having now.
That's true. That's true too. But I'm saying you can't forget about it. Like Raymond Felton had a gun charge. He almost went to jail for 3.5 years, bro, because he brought guns from down south. They didn't know the rules for the guns.
Carmelo had a baby with a damn stripper while he was playing 38 minutes a game, averaging 30, man. No, when we talk about and what's crazy, you mentioned on Raymond Felton, right? That should make people respect Melo even more, because if you really look at that team that he was around, Amari broke down. They amnestied the wrong person. How you amnesty somebody and then re-sign them?
They amnestied what's the name? Didn't they do that to Chauncey?
Didn't they do that to Chauncey and re-sign him?
No, they didn't re-sign Chauncey.
Who the hell did they re-sign that year? Was it Chauncey? Or was it? Did they bring back Raymond Felton?
Yeah, that's what happened with Felton. Felton got traded for Melo, and then I want to say halfway through the next season, or something. I forgot what the situation was, but he was in that Melo trade.
But we definitely got him back though.
Yeah, we got him back. Yeah, he was the starting point guard for Melo for almost the whole time. I think we brought him back again in the off season, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit. I mean, I just got respect for Carmelo Anthony and what he's done, man. I got respect for Julius Randle too. I mean, but it's getting out of hand. That's the reason why I really want to win, because winning gets the toxic.
Yeah,
air.
Cures all. Winning cures all. Man.
You know what I'm saying? It cures all, man. It cures all. So if we could win tonight's game, the next time I see you, we don't have to talk about Tom Thibodeau and Thibodeau's trash, and we gotta win the damn game.
Yeah, just play, man.
I'm gonna be watching the game while I'm on my way home, so I'm gonna be watching it right on my phone, literally while I'm on my way home tonight. So hopefully they can win this damn game.
Yeah, me too. Once we get off, I'm gonna take a little break, and I'll probably come on at 11:30 to do the halftime thing, just because I got nothing else to do. AKA to hell with my wife if she's watching. She gets on my damn nerves, man. I love my wife, by the way. I'm always talking junk about her, but I absolutely love my wife. So
yeah, you gotta love her, man.
She deals with me. She got the way that I talk like this to her all day long. She got stamina. I don't know how she does it, man.
Yo, listen, my she'll tell me I can't be with you when you watching the Knicks. I gotta just leave you alone. Yeah, I be in a different zone. Like when I'm in the crib, my phone on do not disturb. Like don't bother me. Like when I'm in Knick game mode, I don't want to be bothered at all.
Yeah. If you have a good woman that understands that, then you gotta see what you can do to keep her around, or try to get her up to speed on everything else. Because I mean, it takes a lot for you to just see it happening and just let the guy just go. Because I mean, it could be different. I could be in the bar watching the game. You don't want me in the bar. If I'm in the crib watching it, and you know that I'm doing this podcast now, at least you know where I am, and I'm not out doing other dumb shit. So that's a big plus with that. Yeah. Anyway, statement.
So imagine if.
Okay.
So imagine if Thibs go on a win streak.
Oh my God! I know where you're going with this.
No, I just gotta play the Eru role real quick. Before we get out of here, because I'm about to watch this game. Right. And me and you, I have not looked at the game yet, so I'm not live tweeting during this game. I'm straight up, I'm not live tweeting. So I want to watch the game. Knicks win tonight. Kids play well again. Knicks play the next game. Knicks win the next game. Kids play well again. we can't get that playoff spot. We can't get that Tim C. Now, the almighty Tim C, if we can get that because of the kids, by all means. That means that the kids are good.
Well, shout out to Danny. Danny said that we definitely need like a 6-game winning streak. So I mean, the next few games are actually games that we actually can spin off and get six wins straight with the games that we have here. If Tom Thibodeau continues to do what he did the last game, just that's asking a lot though. But here's what I want to say to you: if we do go on this winning streak and we make the playoffs again, is Tom Thibodeau back here as the coach next year?
Yes.
And there you go. So it's just a roundabout bullshit. If we do win, then Tom Thibodeau goes, see, I told you, I knew what I'm doing. And then now we're gonna have him again for a whole nother season. And who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows if he's gonna do the right thing by us or it's gonna be more bullshit? We don't know. We don't know year to year. So I don't know. Maybe this is a lesson from the basketball guys for us to calm down and stop trying to fire everybody every 5 minutes. But listen, man, just win, baby.
Hope they can win, baby. They need to stop losing, man. We pause, but they need to stop losing, man. This is dead serious. They need to stop losing.
Yeah, man.
But shout outs to the kids, man. Shout outs to RJ, man. Continue to be aggressive. Julius Randle, just come to play basketball. That's all I can ask for. Just come play basketball. Quickly, just come play basketball. That's where I'm at with those two guys. Just come play basketball.
Come play basketball. Fuck the dumb shit. Stop all that pouting and yelling and getting all excited about it. Focus on the game. Take it out on your opponent, and let's just play basketball, brother. Like you said,
Mm-hmm. That's all. That's all we gotta do. I don't want to. I'm just sick of losing. That's what it is. Like, just give me like 2-3 wins straight. You could lose again. Give me another one. Like, and just get a win. Please. If Julius Randle always wakes up versus Sabonis, maybe tonight is the night. He gives a 30-point triple-double. At least.
Yeah, him and Sabonis got a rivalry going on. I think they call each other, say, yo, man, you ate good, you slept good. I'm ready. I'm ready for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what they do because they never fight with each other. They play real physical and stuff. And at the end of the game, you see them, giving each other a hug at the end. So I think they got a friendly rivalry going on between the two. So I mean, it should be a good game, man. I'm anxious. They're actually playing now, State, man. So let's get up out of here, my man.
Yo, man. First of all, I appreciate Danny. Good substitution. I appreciate you, man. That was like some Dwayne Wade subbing in for Chris Bosh type of ish that just happened like 20 minutes ago. So I really appreciate you, Danny B.
Danny B's the man. I like Danny. And Danny's a cool guy.
You was the LeBron in this situation. I was the Chris Bosh. Danny B, he was D Wade. He subbed in for me, so I appreciate that. I love y'all Knicks fans, man. I'm at work. I'm still trying to talk Knicks and trying to just be a good teammate. Let's get a win. That's it, right?
You want to take a peek at the score real quick? You want to do a
No, I
spot?
don't. I'm good. I'm good.
Right,
I don't want to see nothing. Good.
I ain't even gonna say nothing. I know everybody watching. Don't put the score in the comments. Don't the screw tonight up. But get up out of here, man. State.
All right, man.
Oh my God, too late.
14. God. Yo, have a good night, man. Yeah, have a good night.
All right, peace, man.
14-4. Wait, we down 14-4?
Yep.
All right, dog. The tank must go on. Yo, remember? Hold on. Before we go, you watched the Bugs Bunny, the Cartoon Network with Bugs Bunny and all those, the old school Bugs Bunny Cartoon Network joint.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we grew up on that.
One episode, right, where Bugs Bunny was fighting. He was fighting ants because ants kept taking his picnic basket. All I could think about is the ants. They made some little mini tank, bro, out of leaves, bro. I'm thinking about the ants in the mini tank. That's what Thibs is driving. Thibs gotta stop driving the tank, man. Oh my God. 13-4. Oh man. Yo, Diehard, that's it. Diehard, man. We'll speak tomorrow, man. We'll speak tomorrow.
It's actually 17-6 right now. So
my God, y'all have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Let me go watch this bum team, man.
No doubt.
God, fucking Knicks, man.
All right, peace, y'all. Thank you, Danny B, for coming in. Danny B is cool. Like I said, he's the man. You can talk basketball. It's just a beautiful thing. Like when Marvin comes on, and Marvin's on the screen now. When Marvin pops up and you can hear that basketball talk, it's just music to the ears, man. So having Danny on, big respect to him, and I love to hear people just, talk basketball. Like I said, it's just like it's like eating a steak, man. Beautiful, whatever. I'm vegetarian, so I can't even give you I can't even say the Brussels sprout is so juicy, whatever. But you get what I'm trying to say. But anyway, we out of here. I'm about to do the halftime to crunch time, and in about like 40 minutes or so. So if you guys ain't got nothing to do, you can come and watch me talk to myself because ain't nobody else gonna be watching. So I'll see you guys later. Ebro out, 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute. See you guys later, man. In like 40 minutes.